Hello everyone, Milky Way Matthew here for day, hold on, I'm confused. I don't remember what day it is. It's day 11. Is it day 11? Was yesterday day 10? It must have been. Yeah, because today's the 13th. Okay, so it's day, now that we have clarity, I should probably restart, but I'm not going to because this is real life. Yeah, so it's day 11 of the Peter Monn vlog challenge for me. That's wild. Day 11. How did we get here? Well, welcome to day 11. Today is Sunday, December 13th, 2020. It's late in the evening, but I have a special treat for us today. Other than my amazing Star Wars shirt, it's a 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back year, and so this is an awesome Japanese poster. I think this is probably one of my favorite pieces of marketing for Star Wars. I think it's powerful imagery. Anyway, the real treat that I have is a literal treat. Look at this. This is a little piece of banana pumpkin chocolate chip bread that my mom made. When she was here earlier this week, she brought some treats and she brought me a bunch of this bread. And so I'm gonna eat some of it while I vlog. And I've got my favorite, which is vanilla, unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Silk's unsweetened vanilla almond milk is my favorite milk. Could not dream of drinking a glass of dairy milk for so many reasons. But I know people, still do. But anyhow, this is my milk of choice. So, yeah, what are you up to today? How's it going? How was your weekend? Is this the end of your weekend? Did you work today? So I worked a little bit today, not a ton. Which was nice. There's probably some, there's probably some rule against, like, do not eat while you vlog. But I feel like people eat all the time in videos, right? I don't know. First time for everything. Don't worry, though. I also have my water. So go ahead and take a drink of water if you can. Staying hydrated. So, yeah, worked a little bit today, but I slept in later than I have in a long time. Almost to a point where I was like, that was too late, which I don't like that feeling. But, it's good to rest, so that's okay. But, yeah, so I had a quiet morning, doing a little bit of work. Most of my day, though, was spent on the phone or on video calls. So I did have a meeting, a video Zoom meeting. But then, yeah, I just spent a lot of time on the phone, connecting with some folks I haven't talked with in a while. I talked to one of my BFFs of all time, Aaron, today, and we had not talked in a very long time, like a sad long time. So that was really nice to spend some time connecting with him. I miss that guy. I miss being together in person a lot, and I look forward to the day that is all well and good and safe and right. But yeah, we laughed a little, but we really just had a nice, very real conversation about kind of what's been rough right now for us, and it was a good time of sharing. So yeah, that was that. I did today. I spent some time with my audiobook, which I said I wanted to do, and I did. So that was really, really nice. And I think I only have like an hour left, and I'm listening on 1.5 speed, so I don't even think it'll be an hour. It'll be 45 minutes. Is that how that would work out mathematically? It would cut a fourth of the time off, right? I think that's how it would work. Yeah, that's how it would work. If you know that that is wrong, what I just said, then let me know in the comments, but I think that's right. I'm fairly confident in that. I have chocolate chips on my fingers. So, yeah. Yum. It's good. I like it's not terribly sweet, this bread. And it's moist. Yeah, that's good. It's a good bake, Mom. No soggy bottom there. So, yeah. Then, in the evening, this evening I had a couple friends over, and you know what we did? We had pizza, which if you're paying attention, you'll know that means I had pizza 2 nights in a row. Not upset about it, quite frankly. I hear the train. So, yeah, we had pizza, but we got Pizza Hut, which I had not had in forever. And Pizza Hut, okay, so let me talk about Pizza Hut. Listen, I grew up in a town smaller than the one I live in right now, and I live in a small town right now, and if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, we only had 2 pizza places. Okay, we had a Casey's, so I guess we had 3 pizza places in town. The Casey's general store at the gas station, which was never my favorite when I was young. I did not care for it in the least. It was too cheesy. And too cheesy, not in a good way. It was, yeah, I did not care for that when I was younger. Now, here's the thing. Every Casey's is different. And even at the same Casey's, it depends on who's making the pizza. That's my theory. But anyway, didn't care for it when I was younger. But I like Casey's pizza. It's good, like fast food pizza. Then the other pizza place we had in town was like a family-run pizza place that was more like a nice sit-down Italian restaurant. And it was really expensive from our perspective. So we did not go there much. I had those of you know me know I was in a large family, and so if we would have all eaten that, it would have been a very large bill, which was not something that we could do. So our pizza place was Pizza Hut, and I have so many memories at that Pizza Hut. My grandparents went to that Pizza Hut every Wednesday night. My grandma and grandpa would go with my grandma's very close friend. And so it would always be at least the 3 of them, but also like a bunch of people that they knew, like a bunch of our family, just a bunch of people in our family's life knew that they would always be there at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. And so you never knew who was going to show up at Pizza Hut, and they would just slide up another table, and sometimes it would just be the 3 of them, and sometimes there would be 15 people there having pizza together. But my grandma was my piano teacher, and I remember a long stretch of time when we had piano lessons before that on Wednesdays. So my grandma and grandpa would come to town. They lived in a town about 10 minutes away, and grandma would give me my piano lesson, and then they would go to Pizza Hut. And so a lot of times they would, see if any of us kids wanted to go. And we did a lot. So, and even not when I was having piano lessons, like just anytime, you know, they were always happy to have us come along and they would get us pizza. But I remember that I'm trying to remember if I can. I know I can remember part of their order. So my grandma always would get Mountain Dew, which is kind of funny to me because I can't stand Mountain Dew. And my grandma, like, yeah, but she loved Mountain Dew with her pizza. So that's what she would always get to drink. Sometimes she would get Sierra Mist, but mostly it was Mountain Dew. And I think, so they would always get like the personal pan pizza, and I don't remember exactly what my grandpa would get. I don't know if he would always get I think he like tried different things. I don't think he always got the same thing. I feel like my grandma always got a personal pan supreme pizza, and her friend would always get a personal pan supreme pizza well done. So she would always ask them to cook it a little extra because she liked it extra crispy. And I will say, Pizza Hut's strong suit is having like a crispy, crunchy, buttery crust that on the inside is very soft. That is, I think, one of Pizza Hut's strong suits. And it was fun because, like, you know, obviously the staff at Pizza Hut isn't going to be the same forever, but in a small town, they tended to have pretty long stints. And so their waiter or waitress would always know their orders, and they would always have running jokes with them and ask about their family and stuff. So it was just, that's such a fun memory. And, like, my cousin lived literally one block from that Pizza Hut, so sometimes he would come to Pizza Hut as well, and then we would walk to his house afterwards. And also at that Pizza Hut, oh wow, a flood of memories. They had a jukebox, and I remember using that a couple times, not very often. But they also, when I was really young, they had like a little kids area, which was like, it was maybe like 6 feet by 6 feet in like the corner, where they had bookshelves and they had a bunch of books, and then they had like a table with like coloring stuff and maybe like a couple toys or something, which is so weird. I don't feel like that's normal for a Pizza Hut. They eventually got rid of it, but one of the books they had there, I would always go find the same book because they had a choose your own adventure book, and I loved that. So I can remember sitting being surrounded by all these adults, and I was sitting there reading my book, and I got to choose what I would do next in the story, and I thought that was amazing. It would tell you turn to page 73, so you would turn to page 73, and then, you know, you meet a bunch of trolls. It was like kind of fantasy, and but I wouldn't know what that book was. I don't think, even if I was handed it, I don't think I would know. But I just know I had I loved it, and I loved it primarily because it was kind of fun and fantasy, but also because it was choose your own adventure. So then eventually they got rid of that little kids nook, which was kind of a bummer, if you ask me. But what I was starting to say was they also had, in the like breezeway, they had like coin machines where you could get gum and candies, but they also had like the tattoos and bouncy balls. So I would always bum a quarter from somebody and get a bouncy ball. So I used to have like this giant thing of bouncy balls because I would get a bouncy ball like every time I went to Pizza Hut, which, looking back on that, someone should have stopped giving me quarters. I did not need those bouncy balls, but you just never knew which one you were going to get. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, if you're watching this, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me here. Comment down below your favorite color for a bouncy ball if you have one. Or just comment bouncy ball. That'd be great if you're still watching. So, Yeah, so lots of fond memories of my childhood at Pizza Hut, and then as you know, I grew up, have some really really wonderful memory. And I lived, hold on, 1, 2, 3 blocks from Pizza Hut. Granted, they were kind of like bigger blocks, but it's still small town. So I mean, like, I don't know, a third of a mile or something like that. Like not a long ways. Um, and but in the opposite direction of my cousin. But so like we would walk there, and like bless the hearts of those Pizza Hut workers, because I remember going in there as 12, 13 year olds, and we'd sit down, order our pizza, have our time. The waitresses were like, I can remember this one lady who, this is so funny. I haven't thought about her in a long time. I have no idea what her name is. I would know her if I saw her. I'm sure she's. What is funny is, in my mind, like in my memory, I remember not thinking, oh, she's old, but like she was an old person, um, and she probably was in her 40s. She could not have been older than that. There's no way. So that's funny. She was very, very nice. She was very, very nice. But anyway, yeah, I can remember going in there, and we would order our own food and just like do it. And so, you know, here's this lady probably in her 40s waiting on these punks, which, you know, we were good kids. We were not, I don't think we weren't causing trouble. No, we were never causing trouble. Also, there were TVs in two corners, and I remember a lot of times they had like news or sports on, and I always thought that was boring, and I wish that you could change the channel to something cool, but you couldn't. I didn't care when I was young. I did not care about news or sports, so now I still don't care about sports, and I never watch the news, because it's just, you know why. But anyway, and then as teenagers, so I have this one memory of going to Pizza Hut when I was a pretty young teenager, probably like 15. And I remember we had a bunch of, we had people staying at our house, family friends and some of their friends. Anyway, there would have been 1, 2, 3. So me and my sister, who were both teenagers at the same time, and then 4 other teens were staying at our house for a few days. And I remember we walked to Pizza Hut, and I just, you know, so just great memories leaving. I remember leaving. For some reason, the walk back that day stands out in my memory as being particularly hilarious or something. And don't you there? You know what I will say? There is something so special about the time in my memory of before any of us drove, but we were old enough to just go out by ourselves. So you just had to walk everywhere, and especially during the summer when it was nice out and it would be light out till 9 p.m. I can just remember walking around with such fondness. That was so fun. That was so fun. We also had this. Okay, I'm just going to tell you all about the downtown of the town where I grew up. We also had. Well, let me finish my Pizza Hut thing. So in my teenage years, then when we started driving, we would still go to Pizza Hut all the time. We would pick up pizza there, but a lot of times we would dine in. And me and my 2 closest friends from the town where I lived during high school, we would go there a lot, and we would get pizza and hang out, and yeah. So Pizza Hut has a very, very fond place in my heart. I don't think it's the greatest pizza in the world, But I did enjoy eating it tonight, and I had not had Pizza Hut pizza in a long time, and it was great. I love their breadsticks, so that was fun. I got the triple. I can't remember what it's called. The triple pack. What was it? What was it called? If you came over from Popology, or if you've been watching his vlogs, you'll know he got that. And I didn't know about it. I thought he was joking when he was like, "I'm gonna get Pizza Hut." I didn't know he actually liked Pizza Hut. So anyway, when he was talking about that, and then seeing the box that it came in, I was like, "That's so cool." So when my friends decided to come over, I was like, "I gotta get that triple something pack." I don't know what it is, but anyway, triple prize pack? No, it's some other P word, I think. I don't know. Anyhow, okay, so also right around the corner from the Pizza Hut was like our downtown. And there was this amazing coffee shop, and here's what's crazy looking back on that. For being a small town, it's amazing that we had that great of a coffee shop. Now, I don't know if the coffee was actually any good, because I was only getting let's see if I can remember my drink. I would get a blended mocha with mango. Was that it? So it was like basically like a frappuccino with mocha, and then like, I think it was mango. Not like literally mango, it was like a pump, you know? Was it mango? That doesn't sound right. But it was it was a tropical fruit that I would get in with, which I like. Orange and chocolate. Oh, that is an ideal flavor combination for me. So, in fact, I've been saying that before Christmas season is over, I want to make chocolate-covered candied oranges. So we'll see if I actually want to or not. But I want to, but I don't know if I want to badly enough to actually do it. So does that mean I actually don't want to? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, so it was I don't know if it was mango. But anyway, I don't think that coffee shop is open anymore. I think they've since closed, which makes me really sad. Okay, so we would go there, like, I don't know if we would go multiple times. No, at least every Tuesday. Why do I remember that? On Tuesdays at like 3:30, a bunch of us would go to this coffee shop and hang out after school. And, okay, for the record, I was homeschooled. I know that probably comes as a shock to you, but welcome to seeing the galaxy through my eyes. So I was homeschooled, but I would go and meet my friends, because that was kind of like halfway between my house and the high school was this coffee shop. That's not why we met there. It's just because it was an awesome place to hang out. And okay, this is the crazy thing. It was built. It's like old downtown, and this building originally, I think, kind of I think it was originally an alley that they filled in as a building. So the inside walls were exposed brick, and they hung local artists' work there. It was like a rotating gallery where you could buy artwork, and all of the furniture was like a very eclectic place. There was like a couch, there was a pew from a church, there were like all the chairs at the tables were like just different like wooden chairs, and it wasn't big, like it was not a huge place, it was pretty small, but there was like a couch area, and they had like they had like a bookshelf with a bunch of different kinds of books and games, and there was like a coffee table, and then chairs all around there, and then there was like a seating place on the other side with just a bunch of tables, and then there were, in the windows, there were bars and stools, and then there was, as you went further back in towards the counter, there was like some more seating. They also served lunch, and they had this amazing roast beef wrap. Oh my goodness. I would love to have that again. I don't know what it was, but it was super good. So anyway, this is what is like we would go in there. Bless these people's heart. Any business that welcomes teenagers needs to receive some sort of award because teenagers are just can be so unaware of themselves. Because I say that because I know we were super loud, and we did probably not realize that they were like adults trying to have like maybe meetings or like just serious, conversations, and we were just all wound up, and we were pumping ourselves full of caffeine. I mean, we were paying customers. Everyone like always bought stuff. We never went in there and didn't get anything. But they were so nice to us. And I don't ever remember anyone being rude to us. I don't ever remember. We were not like rude kids, but I mean, sometimes there would be 15 teenagers come in there at once, like easily. So, and that was just our group. There were probably I know there were others that would come in after school as well. So, but it was so nice. That was a treasure. Those are treasured memories for me. Oh, such a great place. So where did you go after school? Let me know in the comments. Where was your hangout? Did you all have a hangout after school? Did you go straight home? Did you go to your friend's house? What was your practice with that? I was talking about this with someone recently, like this idea of a third place, because my friend was talking about this. Was it this author? Yeah, this author opened a bookstore somewhere. I should get my facts together. Anyway, this author opened this bookstore that's like designed for. It's like a used bookstore, but basically it's like also a place you can just go and hang out and probably have coffee or something. I don't know, but the idea of a third place, somewhere that's not home but not work, but you can go be socially or by yourself if you want, and how rare those are now. And that coffee shop was definitely a third place. It was a place you could go if you wanted to go have fun, if you wanted to go and sit and read, like if you wanted to go get some work done. It was a great place. And I don't feel like we really have anywhere like that here in my town. And, that's kind of sad. Maybe there is. I just don't know about it, but we don't have any coffee shops. So that's a bummer. And certainly not an amazing one. They sold, I just had this memory. They sold some dessert bar that we could not get enough of. What was it? I think it had a layer of chocolate on top, and maybe it was like some sort of peanut butter. I don't know. What was that? But I remember, like, you were always hoping that they still had some wrapped in the little cooler area. They were so good. And they sold puppy chow. I haven't thought about that in 10 years. That might be a little extreme. 8. Wow. Yeah. Fun place. Fun place. We also had the best thrift store across the street from there. And that is still going. I know that, and I actually heard that they bought the store next to them that closed down and opened up like expanded, which makes me happy because it is okay. So even like when I will go home, like I don't go home very often, but if I do, I always try to stop in there because it is just amazing. Like, yes, I love Goodwill, but here's the thing. Goodwill does not compare. I would say I would rather go to a Salvation Army than a Goodwill because okay, so I no, that's not true. It all depends on how well the place is taken care of. So the Goodwill that's closest to me here is not taking very like they don't take very good care of it, and sometimes there's just like stuff laying on the floor, and which is weird. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why that is. Um, yeah, and I feel like there's not usually a huge selection of clothes, at least that I'm interested in. But anyway, this thrift store is made, and like to this day, the clothes. These people are not in it for the money. Who runs a thrift store for the money, you know? But I mean, I feel like you don't pay more than $1.25 for any piece of clothing. It's incredible. And because it's the only place in town, like everybody takes their stuff there, and so there's really nice stuff. And yeah, oh, it's great. So they had like a little, so a lot of it's clothes, but then they also had like a little toy area and with games and stuff. And just like as a kid, I can remember going in there, looking at the toys, looking at the games at the thrift store. So fun. Then you go back and you look at the clothes. And I'm trying to think what the last time I bought clothes there, what I got. It would have been a few years ago. Probably don't remember. But always finding great sweaters. Oh, I would love to go back there. But my favorite spot there was the book section. They had this little area of books. They also had movies, VHSs, but they had a ton. Well, I say a ton of books. I mean, it was literally just like this, probably 5x10 area in the store. But when you're a kid, that's like a lot of books, and I loved looking through every single book and finding. And the books were like probably like $0.25 or something. I don't know. It was just so inexpensive. Yeah, so I loved going there, and I still do, and I haven't been in several years, and it's a good place. Here's what I'll say. I feel like, who knows where life is going, but I think it would be super fun, maybe if I, like, in retirement, to run a thrift store. I'm sure it's a ton of work, but okay, so all the people who run this thrift store are like elderly women, and there are these sweet old ladies who, you know what's funny is I went back in a few years ago, and I was like, can I pay with a card here? Because that's like, I hadn't, as a kid, you'd always take your like $2 in or whatever, and you'd get a whole bag full of stuff. But they do take cards now, but it like takes a long time because they're not used, like they like have these old cash registers, and it's these like I forgot about this. I had to wait a long time because they had like there was only one of the ladies that knew how to run a card, and they had to wait for her or something. That's so funny. So yeah, there's these sweet old ladies who are running this place, and it's a little slice of heaven. And here's the thing, I would say like part of that maybe is just nostalgia and remembering things more fondly than they are, but I really don't think it is. Like I have family that's there and they still love it, and say they're still taking great care of the place. And so I feel like in retirement that would be a really fun thing to do. It would be to especially if like I ended up in a small town when I'm old, like to run a great thrift store, or just like any place that brings value to the community and that can be a positive place for people of all ages to interact. Yeah, but there's something very fun about a thrift store. of I was like, oh wait, this was in a movie that I watched recently. It was that Dolly Parton Christmas movie. There's this old guy who runs like an antique store or something, and he sings this song about how everything has a memory. There's a memory, you don't know how something value. Only the person who owned it could know how valuable it is because they have the memories attached to it. Blah blah blah, whatever. But I kind of well, maybe his point is that like if you buy it, then you're gonna make new memories, so it becomes valuable. Maybe that's. But yeah, I just like the idea of things having a second life rather than going in the trash. So yeah, and just being put in the earth to, be sold to another country, and having people in slums like sort through all of our garbage. So there's a happy thought for you. But yeah, so I love that thrift store. And just kitty corner from there was our public library where, because I was homeschooled, I would walk nearly every day as a child. When I was young, Mom would walk us there. But then I feel like when I was like 10, maybe that's totally wrong, but I feel like, could that even be true? Would Mom have, what age would I have been? Maybe 12? I know I was young when Mom was letting us walk ourselves to the library. It would have been, depending on how we walked, it would have been, 5 to 10 minute walk when you're little. I mean, even probably now, somewhere in there. But yeah, it's 5 blocks, 6 blocks maybe. Oh, but great memories. I loved that library, and those librarians were also amazing people. Amazing people. Do you know, I kept in touch with our children's librarian. She just retired last year, and she sent me a card to let me know that she was retiring. What a beautiful, beautiful saint of a woman. She was the children's librarian when I was 4, and she had probably already been there for quite a while. She did that job forever and loved kids, loved reading, helped kids to love reading. Never once saw her cross or grumpy. She was always happy. I could cry right now thinking about that woman, and I'm probably going to cry thinking about what a present, positive person she was for us, and making us feel so safe and that we could explore and ask questions. Remarkable. Wow. She was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, did you spend time at the public library? Oh man, I spent so many hours, and I remember when they got computers, and then because we didn't have a computer in the house, so that was where we went to use a computer, and yeah, I remember going there and getting books, obviously, but also movies. I also remember, this is funny, we had to replace their VHS copy of Lilo and Stitch because our VCR ate it up, and it ended up being like $30 to replace it because it was, I don't know why. I mean, back then, VHSs, when that was, I think DVDs were a thing. Maybe not. Maybe that was before we even had a DVD player. But I remember it was $30. I don't know how I remember that. I think I just remember being feeling so. I don't know if I was the one that did it, but I think I had checked it out. And I remember, $30 to replace a VHS copy of Lilo and Stitch. So take good care of your library materials. They can last a long time if you do. Do you go to the public library now? Let me know in the comments. Yeah. Oh, I just thought of another story about that library that I'm not going to tell, but it involves me being there with my mom, and there was some sort of like community meeting. I don't know what it was, but there was like a decent amount of people there, and she was standing around talking to a group of people, and I was standing there, and all of a sudden I realized what she was talking about, and it was something extremely embarrassing. It was probably, which like, I don't even think in the moment. In the moment I knew it was embarrassing, but I wasn't angry. I was just like, how would you possibly think that was okay to talk about? But she stood there. She said, that was probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. But it didn't bother me in the moment. Well, I mean, I was definitely embarrassed, but I wasn't. Yeah, it was just like, oh, Mom. That's all it was. So that's a funny story. I'm not going to tell it though, because it's not the kind of thing you talk about on YouTube, you know? Or it turns out in a group of people at the public library. Moms. But thanks for the banana bread. That was tasty. Yeah. And I remember when like my library card, so there was 2 levels, and the basement was the kids area, and when you have like a kids card, that's the only place you can, like, you can't check anything out from upstairs. And I remember when my library card like switched over and I could check out from upstairs, and it was like, all of these books and movies. They had an enormous VHS collection. And you know what? This is crazy. I just remembered that I had a dream maybe a couple months ago that I was at that library looking at VHSs. Except it was different because there was a bunch more shelves. But I just remember as a kid, like, there was this whole wall of shelves and then another wall, and it was like, that was all their VHSs. And I'm certain they don't have any of those VHSs anymore. But what I would not give to go back in time and like now as my adult self to watch my younger self, because I know I was just, every single time I went in, I would look at every single movie. Like, I was engrossed. I was in awe of all of these VHSs. And I would just look at all of them. And then when they started getting DVDs, what they did is they had these binders that, like, it was like the plastic sleeves, and so it would have a copy of the case front and back, and then on the back side of that it had a card that was, if the card was there, that meant the movie was in. If the card wasn't there, that meant the movie was checked out. So you would like look through, you would pull out the movies that you wanted, and then you would take those up to the counter and you would give them those cards. And then which is so funny, because I'm sure that's not how they do it anymore either. I'm sure all of the movies are just out there. Although I wonder if that would be really interesting to me now, to go back in there and to find out. I want to look at their website. I need to look at their website and just see what's going on there. I wonder if they're open right now with COVID. I need to look into that. That would be just a trip. I haven't been back there in a long time. I know one time when I was in town, I walked through. But I bet I kind of don't think. Oh, I just remembered this one lady who worked upstairs who was the nicest. There were two ladies that worked upstairs. One, here's what I learned. She was very nice, but she was also very stern and strict, and sometimes she was scary to me. But I'm certain that if I met her now, we would be best friends. Then there was this other lady. Oh, this is what's crazy. I haven't seen, like, that Pizza Hut person I was talking about and these two ladies. I have not seen in a good 10 years, if not 12 or more. And so their faces in my memory are like a dream. They're like icons. I can't imagine seeing them in real life. And also, it would be weird because they would be like 10 years older. So to see them growing old would also be weird. I'm going to cry about. Am I emotional tonight? I'm going to cry about this Pizza Hut waitress, about these other librarians. Just remarkable people. But the one lady at the library was so nice to us. Wow. I hope that she knows that somewhere there is a person sitting thinking about her. I'm so thankful for her. Weird. Do you remember any of the people that worked at your public library? Is that just a weird thing? Maybe it's a small town thing. Maybe it's just a homeschool kid thing because you go to the library like every day. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. They had great book sales at the library. I remember they would be like a week long, once a year. And they would set up tables, and have these books for sale. And I would go on every day of the week and look through more of the books. And then like in the last 2 days, it would be like dollar bag. So you would get a paper bag and you pay $1, and all the books you could fit in there you could take. That's amazing. Wow. That was very close to my cousin's house too. So I remember actually going to that library with him, and I remember we checked out The Last Samurai, which I wasn't sure if I could watch because it was rated R. Is that true? Was The Last Samurai rated R? This is the crazy thing. I remember we got it. It's and it was a very long movie. Is that true? Was I just a kid and it seemed like it was rated R and it was only PG-13? Because I can't remember if like we had to have somebody's permission to check it out or something. But I'm sure I asked my mom. I feel like it was the first rated R movie ever, and I think it's just for violence or something. Anyway, we checked it out multiple times because we never had like enough time to finish it. I still don't think I've ever seen it to the end. I don't think, which I don't know that I'm missing out on anything. Am I? Should I have watched The Last Samurai? Well, okay, now here's the interesting thing about that. I since have come to love like actual samurai movies. I've watched a decent amount of like Japanese samurai films, which are very fun. I think I talked about The Last Samurai on here before. No, not The Last Samurai. Seven Samurai. I'm talking about The Last Samurai right now. Oh, you way. But yeah. Anyway, I still don't think I've watched The Last Samurai. But I wonder is it a good movie? I have no idea. I can't tell. From my memory, I mean, I remember thinking it was cool when I was watching it, but I was bummed because we never got to finish it. It's long. Because, you'd start watching something and then your parents would be like, okay, we gotta go somewhere. But I will say there is something wonderful about, as a kid, all you want is autonomy. And then, you grow up and you just wish you had someone else to be responsible for you and take care of everything, and all you had to do is do what you're told and be nice and learn. Though I would not want to go back to that. Except, I think our generation, I say ours, I don't know. My generation is like the most nostalgia obsessed. We're like addicted to nostalgia. And which, Michael, if you're watching this, you should talk about all your theories about nostalgia in one of your videos. I'm so dry right now, I can't even talk. But Michael has some interesting thoughts on nostalgia and its marketability and the economic side of nostalgia, which, you look at major film studios today. What has not been rebooted? It's crazy. It's fun for a while, and then it's sad because we don't have any original content anymore. We don't have. What a ridiculous statement. Of course we do. It's not going to show in my town at the movie theater very long, if at all, because it won't sell tickets, because now we're just used to having nostalgia trip with every box office feature. So why was I saying that? What a curmudgeon. Why did I set my water over here? That's weird. I'm okay with it. What was I talking about before that? I probably won't remember. Last Samurai. Nostalgia. Huh. Yeah. What makes you feel nostalgic? You know what makes me, actually, this is the truth. Taylor Swift makes me feel nostalgic like no other. I was listening today to her album that she gave us all for Christmas. And here's the thing, even though, okay, I love Taylor Swift, I don't listen to her that often. I talked about her on the vlog one other time. This is what's crazy about this 11 days is it feels like I've been doing it so long. I don't remember what it was like to not vlog. But also, like, it's only been 11 videos, but I'm already talking about something. I know I talked about Taylor Swift. But what was I saying? Oh, I think I was talking about her Christmas song. Okay. I really liked Taylor Swift back in the day. Now, I still do. I don't listen to that often. But I remember buying her album probably on iTunes. That I think it was probably just called Taylor Swift. I don't know. But it was like when she was country, back, it was original Taylor before she metamorphosed out of her cocoon as a butterfly. Which, here's the thing. This is what I was thinking about her. It's weird now to think, because she's like in her 30s, right? I think she, Lord willing, she will still be making music 30 years from now. And I think we will still be listening to her. She will still be, and I could be wrong. This could be, just totally wrong. I think age is only going to improve Taylor Swift. I think she has transformed enough, and we've just watched her. Remember how crazy it was when we're like, wait, she's a pop artist? That was a crazy thing. And just the fact that she keeps, and now these last two albums kind of sound and maybe people are already saying this, and maybe this is wrong, but I feel like these last two albums feel more like what I was listening to, except darker and more mature as a teenager. But I can remember there was this guy that we knew from town who, right there along downtown, his family had owned like a shop, and he inherited it. This is what's crazy memory. I don't even know what it was. I have no clue. I don't even know if it was a business or if he just kept a bunch of stuff there for storage. I think he was like a computer shop. I think he worked on computers. There was a ton of computer stuff there. Yeah. What did I do? He would hire me and my sister to come do stuff for him. What were we doing? I have no clue. Here's the crazy thing. I can remember sitting in that shop, working, getting paid to do something. And I can remember listening to Taylor Swift on my original iPod. But I don't have a clue what I was doing. That's hilarious. I think it had something to do with... maybe we were stuffing envelopes for him. He was like mailing out newsletters, and we would fold them and stuff the envelopes and put the address labels on them or something like that. I know it wasn't hard work, but then also I think we cleaned. I feel like we cleaned. I don't know what we did. That's so weird. I should ask my mom, because I cannot for the life of me. I can't remember. But anyway, the important thing is I see it. I see myself. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my iPod and listening to Taylor Swift's album and just loving it. Loving it. So like today, like listening to Taylor Swift, even though I was listening for the first time all the way through her new album, it takes me back. Like every time I hear her, because it's still her voice, it's still Taylor, and it's just like I'm taken back to 13-year-old Matthew, and I'm sitting there holding my iPod, like, you know, with the little click, 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 click going around. Oh, how satisfying. What I wouldn't give to have my iPod. Actually, I gave my iPod to Chris over on Always Us. If you haven't checked out their channel, check it out. Maybe hopefully I'll remember. I'll link below. You should check out their videos. Very fun, very funny. And just real. Great people. Anyway, when I got an iPod Touch. So I gave Chris my iPod because he didn't have one. Which I will say, he lent me, this is so funny, when I was younger than that. Maybe it was when I was 13. I don't know why I think it was when I was 13. I remember one time he lent me his MP3 player. Maybe he got a new one or something. He lent me his MP3 player. Chris, you lent me was it orange? Did you have an orange? Please comment below. Did you have an orange MP3 player that you lent me? Do you remember this? Can you corroborate my story? And he had a bunch of music on it. And I did not listen to like much music as a young person. I had my little niche areas of music that I liked. So I was not listening to like pop music. I didn't know. Okay, this is kind of an embarrassing fact. One of the songs on his little orange MP3 player that was like this big was Bad Day. Who's that by? I don't know. If you're still watching, comment down below Bad Day, and if you know who it's by, comment who it was by. And I did not know that song, and I thought it was the greatest song ever written. I remember listening to that on repeat. Oh my goodness. I thought this is the pinnacle of music. That's so funny. I should listen to that song while I'm getting ready for bed. Oh, I'm brushing my teeth tonight. I should listen to that. Which now every time I hear that song, it makes me think of the Chipmunks, because then one of the Chipmunk movies that some kid was watching, or I probably watched them too, but I think it was like these kids that I was around always watched the Chipmunks movie, and they sang that song on their song. Ugh. But anyway. I gave my iPod Classic, which, okay, let me say one more thing about that iPod Classic. This is super fun. Chris's sister and her friend Katie, Megan, if you're watching this, they showed me how to, I can't even remember what this was. I think Katie had the first season of Friends on her computer somehow, and she put it on my computer, and then they showed me how to put it on my iPod. So I had never watched Friends, and so I ended up having the first season of Friends on my iPod, which I did not pay for. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to watch Friends, but I was super excited. And I can remember laying in bed at night and watching Friends on my iPod. Now, remember, this is like a 2-inch by 2-inch screen with probably like 33 pixels or something. But, oh my goodness, what I would not give. So I gave that iPod to Chris when I got my iPod Touch. Here, this is a doubly sad story. I had that my iPod Touch for 2 months, and then I dropped it in a parking lot, and the screen totally shattered. And eventually, I think I got it replaced. No, I don't think I ever did. I don't think I ever got the screen replaced because I didn't know how to or where to go or whatever. Because again, small town, I just didn't know what I was doing. So that's a bummer. I only had it for 2 months. And then I just had a broken screen, which I tried to use for a long time. But then eventually, along came cell phones that had music on it. So, but here's the double sad part of that, because Chris got my iPod and he was so pumped. And Chris, I don't know, you can comment down below if you're watching this, how long you had it. I think he had it for a matter of a couple of weeks, and someone stole it from him. Out of a car? Did someone steal it out of your car? Out of your parents' car? Was your bike also stolen at the same time? What was that? There was something about he got a bunch of stuff stolen. No, it was his maybe like a video game device and the iPod were both stolen, something like that. So it just wasn't in the cards, man. So sad, right? I would love to have my iPod Classic, though. That was an amazing device. There were games on it. I remember there was a trivia game. I used to play that all the time. And I'm not good at trivia. But it was on my iPod, so why not? Crazy. This has been a fun vlog about all the things that make me nostalgic. And it all started with Pizza Hut. Thank you for letting me go down memory lane this evening. Thanks for hanging out with me, for listening. And I hope you are doing well as we head into another week. Tomorrow's Monday, so I'm going to be writing, and then I will do some yoga. And I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what my plans for the evening are, but I'm sure they will be chill. Actually, I do. I will be joining a webinar on Zoom about something about the ecosystem, and I don't really know. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. But anyway, I think I'm going to do that. There's a chance that I might not. I've gone, this is a once a month thing. I always have a different presenter. Gone in the past like 4 months. So I might not, because I'm kind of not super thrilled to spend another hour and a half on Zoom. But anyway, if no one has said this today, you are loved, and you are good, and you are worthy of a big full breath. You're worthy of a sigh. You're worthy of staying hydrated. And you're worthy of rest. Hope that you're able to experience those things today. I will be back on tomorrow for day 12. I hope I'm right about the days, but okay, Milky Way Matthews signing off. Bye-bye.